Good evening, guys. It is definitely evening time. It is just shy of 8 o'clock on day number 6, and I'm wearing cozy clothing because it's been a day. And how are we doing? How are you doing? How's the back going on? It's a question that I'm asking because it's great to hear comments. On some videos, and people make comments about how they're doing on, or just how they find information in a video, or ask any questions. It's useful for me, gives me guidance, and I just love to hear about it. So feel free to comment. Anyhow, so day 6, how am I doing? Where are we up to in this journey? So I am a therapist, but I actually am winding down on a career of teaching that I've been doing for over 20 years. And I still teach like a couple of days a week. And that is transitioning out. Why am I still doing that? Because I love teaching, clearly, and I teach PE. The point of that is I was in school today. So since the back had its initial irritation, which was last Thursday, I've not had to be on my feet all day in a working environment. So today was a bit of a test for that. According to my according to my wristwatch, I did about 7 to 8 thousand steps. But the point of that is with teaching, I'm on my feet all day teaching PE, but obviously I was not demonstrating. I was just going to be very simple, very basic. But the point was, on my feet all day, walking around, and I felt last night, I was like, yeah, I can probably do this, but I was going to listen to my body, which is what I'm saying for you. If you have a pressure to be in a working environment, it's easy for me to just turn around and say this, but you got to pay yourself first. There's no good putting your body in harm's way. And what you'll actually find, we have these ridiculous, and I mean ridiculous, beliefs or thoughts. Not all of us, but particularly in the teaching profession, and in a lot of professions, that, oh, yeah, but if I'm not at work, then people are going to think bad of me, or they're going to have a negative opinion of me, or actually I was off ill 4 weeks ago because I had a cold and now I can't take this time off. These are all you wouldn't choose these thoughts. You wouldn't advise a child. You wouldn't want your child or a child to grow up as an adult in a position where you say to the child, yeah, when you get older, I want you to have these set of beliefs that this is what humans are like when you're in the work environment. Actually, you can't afford to have time off, because no, you wouldn't program a child that. You wouldn't want them to understand and believe that the world works in such a way. Yet we've bought into this belief system, which is totally ridiculous. Because here's the rub: if you are feeling under pressure going to a work environment, and you have people, and you're thinking these people, XYZ people, are going to think negatively on of you, first of all, they're not. People are so consumed with their own lives that they don't have the time to worry about the fact that you're not there. That's if you've got a back injury, you've got a back injury. And here's the next part of the rub: if they are the type of person that is going to have a negative thought about you, or be like, oh God, that person off again, um, a negative thought about you for being ill or for being injured, then that tells us a hell of a lot more about that person than it does you. And you really don't want those kind of people in your orbit anyhow. So we send them love graciously. Bless you, you don't know any better, but that is not the type of person. Because is that how you would react if someone was off work? If it is, well, that's karma. Maybe look at the way you're acting yourself. There's the tough love. Maybe look at the way you are being yourself. And if you weren't admitting that out into the universe, maybe that wouldn't be coming back at you. But I'm probably talking to people that are not that kind of person. And it's like, oh, because we have this overwhelming sense of, I don't even know what it is. It's like doing the right thing, or whatever it is. And it doesn't serve us. So park that one right there. If you've got a bad back and you can't go into work because it's sore, don't push it, because no one's going to thank you for it, and your back certainly won't. And it's with all these processes, we're looking at taking our own arms and actually doing that to ourselves, wrapping our arms around ourselves and going, you know what, I love myself enough. I have that respect for that internal this myself, that I'm not going to put myself in that position. Liken it, if you will, And I'm labouring this point and going on about it, but it's so important. You know, a very powerful trick to do is a very powerful technique to do is literally just sit still for a moment and close your eyes and picture yourself. And the way I picture myself is I find a memory from myself being a child. And this can raise stuff within us as well. So it's okay to explore, but I will picture myself as a child sat at the dinner table at Christmas. That's usually a really powerful one to go with. As a child, you know, we're talking like 7 years old. And then in your mind, with your eyes closed, just freeze that image in your mind, like freeze that scene. And what I want you to do, once you've frozen that scene, have everyone frozen like you see in the movies, apart from your child self. In your mind, walk yourself into the room and walk up to the child, so only you two are there. And looking at the child, think to yourself, as you look at your child, when you get older, or when I get older, or when you get older, what we're going to do is so you're talking to the child, when you get older, I am going to put you in a position where you feel that having time off from work to allow yourself to heal is something that you shouldn't do, and I'm going to make you feel the pressure to go into work, and you're going to feel terrible about it, and I could potentially make your injury worse. And when we look at that and think, God, that's what I'm doing to the child that's within me, because we've got a child within me, we would never do that. And the point behind that is freeze that frame, look at the child, your sweet, innocent 7-year-old self looking back at you, and it's like, oh no, come here, let me hug you. So actually we look and embrace our child and be like, you know what? When you get older, I am going to take care of you. When you get there, I'm going to make the choices that support you. And we are definitely not going to be putting ourselves or putting you in that position when you get older, because I have complete love for you and I will take care of you. And that's, you know, you weren't expecting that on a how to fix your lower back video, but it's one of the most important things is when we're thinking about returning back to the workplace, to not go in too early, to give ourselves enough of permission to just go, oh wow. And I tell you what, when you make that conscious choice today to love yourself and put yourself first in that scenario, your inner child that is within you gets to see you defending him or her. Defending is the wrong word, because that implies that we're taking a position, but so a word akin to defending, but not quite defending, it leaves me at the moment, but that we are there, we're there to love, and love's probably just the word in and of itself. So there you go. So hopefully with that, you're not going to run yourself into position, because this is day 5, day 6, day 7. Sometimes we're like, right, we could go back. Sometimes for people it's like day 14, 15. So now that I've spent 8 minutes laboring that point, only go back if you feel you could. So for me, I went back, I was like, yeah, I feel I could. Now, if it got to period 2 and my back was like, no, this ain't good, I would have gone home. Sorry, guys, I'm out of here. And people will deal with it. They'll deal with you not being there. And that's just the nature of it. Interestingly, we had Ofsted inspection today. So that was another reason why it may have been like, oh no, I must go in. I can't let the school down because of off. No, not at all. The Ofsted inspectors need to see the school working how it would if you were or were not there. That's just school life. So that is, again, a ridiculous notion. And how do people sometimes apply that to their professions? Okay, I've waffled on enough, but as with all these videos, I'm shooting them in one shoot. I'm not editing them. They're just going to be what I spiel out in a time. So now I'm at the point where I'm thinking, okay, I've got all of those 6 foundation principles I've talked about, the 5 plus the movement, and then the movement I did Feldenkrais with you yesterday. Well, look, I feel like I can start putting exercise in. But because I've been on my feet all day, it's the first day, I've done all those thousands of steps. So I'm not going to go for a big exercise. I'm going to show you one movement. This exercise right now is your friend. This is a key exercise for you. It's the one I'm starting on now. I am literally going to do probably 3 or 4 reps on either side. I'm done. See how the body reacts, and then tomorrow I'll be going into more. So let me show you this exercise. It's known as the horse stance. So I'm kind of going to go on a side view for you. So here's what you do. Knees below hips. Elbows, well, palm of your hand below your shoulders, or a fraction in front. So I'm going to go in this position, a fraction in front. And now this is the most important part. Your elbows, so there's the bone that's pointing out to the side. I want your elbows backwards. So watch my left elbow. Watch what's going to happen. The right will mirror this and do the same. In and bend. So now it's called horse stance because apparently that looks a little bit like a horse. Go figure. I'm going to use a broomstick because this is really important thing to have. So if you look from the side view, the stick should touch on your sacrum at the bottom, your mid back, that's around about T10 for those you know where I'm on about, and then the back of my head. 3 points of contact, and notice that there should be enough gap for my hand to go in there and for my hand to go in here. So this is just my guide. Now the stick itself, it doesn't matter if it's slightly elevated, but I want it as close to the level as I can. So I'm now in this position, and all I'm going to do is there's a lot to this. All I'm going to do you remember when I got you on a couple of videos ago, and this is why you need this from a couple of videos ago, and so hopefully you've watched these in sequence, otherwise you're not going to know this part. I got you to take a belly breath in and then draw your belly button back and breathe through pursed lips. If you've not got a clue what I'm on about, you need to go back, I think it was 2 videos, day 3, and find the bit that I was doing on that. That move that hopefully you've done, I'm now going to apply when I'm doing this action. So I told you videos might have a sequence to them. So in this position, belly breath. And what I'm doing is I'm drawing the belly button back and holding. So belly breath in, draw my belly button back, breathing out through pursed lips for 10 seconds. So that's what I'm going to do. Once I'm comfortable, I can do that. Oh, and just notice this is really important. Watch the angle of this just change. I'm going to exaggerate it. So belly breath, get ready for the angle change. See how the lower back slightly flattens? That's me gaining control with my core muscles. Then all I'm going to do in that position, now I am conditioned for this, though it is a base level 1 exercise. Here we go. So engaged, pull the belly button in, breathing out through pursed lips, and what should I do with my left hand and right knee? One rep, holding it for 10 seconds. One rep on that side, so that's 1-1, and I'm going to probably go for about 5-5. I don't know, we'll see how our body feels. If that is too much, and you can see my arms are a little bit shaking in there more than they would because I've not done anything for a few days. If you, when you pick these up, you start moving all over the place, means you don't have the core stabilization yet. And remember, lower back pain will inhibit core stabilization. So if that feels like too much, I'm just going to do a hand. So I hold just one hand for 10 seconds. Then that hand for 10 seconds. Right knee for 10 seconds. Left knee for 10 seconds. And notice when I pick a hand up, it's actually a centimetre off the floor. The knee, a centimetre off the floor. So here we go. I'm going to go through a sequence of 2 on each side. So belly breath, slightly flatten the lower back. Notice that the arm has a slight bend in it always. Now I'm going to keep going. Here comes 3. and 4 coming in. So that's 8 reps in total, 4 on each side. I feel like I could do more. I am not going to. You see how my body responds to that. Like, give it a half hour. And I'm probably not going to do any more tonight. That will do. Now, the reason why I did 2 and I went, you know what, I'm going to go to 4 is because I know that one of the most important things on this exercise is what's called time under tension. So I've just done 10 seconds time under tension, 10 seconds. I've got 20 seconds time under tension, 30 seconds time under tension, 40 seconds. So I did 80 seconds of work where the muscles either side of my spine are actually working in a controlled environment, making it safe as possible. They've just done 80 seconds work. If I did 40 seconds of work and then took a rest, and this is the last thing I will say to make the point. So as I move up to 80 seconds, I get 80 seconds worth of fatigue into those muscles. They're having type 1 muscle fibers. They're slow twitch muscle fibers. They're working for 80 seconds, which means they start to really work the type 1 muscle fibers. I mean, it's not long enough to really get into my type 1 muscle fibers. I need to be going for 1:30 before I even really start touching them properly. So 80 seconds this is where I'm just starting from. If I did 40 seconds and then rested and then did 40 seconds, I didn't make 80. I did 40 seconds of work, rested, recover, go again, 40 seconds of work, rested. Well, I only got that far into my type 1 fibers, but if I did 80 seconds of work, I go 10, 20, 30, 40, carry on, 50, and I start making more work on those type 1 muscle fibers so they get more of a response. So that is the exercise that I'll be doing, and I'm going to do it again tomorrow in the morning, and I'm going to do 4 reps in the morning on either side, maybe 5. I'm going to go about my day, and then I'll go for another set tomorrow evening, and I'm going to build, and if I did 4 on either side, next time I do 5 on either side. The time after that, I do 6 on either side. Then I do 7 on either side. I'm certainly not going to go 5 on either side and then jump out to 10 on either side. And once I've done up to 10 on either side, I'm then going to rest for 1 minute. Then I'm going to go again, and I'm going to do a maximum of 3 sets of 10. But I need to build my way up to that every time, adding 1 additional rep. So in 2 weeks' time of doing this, I should be well into 3 sets of 10. I'm moving up to, and well, if that's 3 sets of 10, I'm not going to do the math that quick. But if it was 10 on one side, that's 100 seconds, that's 200 seconds, that's 200 seconds, that's 600 seconds or 10 minutes of time under tension. I am well into type 1 muscle fibers, and my muscles are going, great, we can now support you. And that's how I'm going to begin to rehab. There's way more to it than this, but that is the first one to introduce. We're up to an 18.5-minute video. Excellent horse stance. Carry on the journey where we are. My lovely waffle at the start about self-love, so important. Respect oneself and keep this journey going, guys. You do have this. This will be a blip in the sequence, and you're resetting from the blip. But we're not just going to get better. We're going to go into prevention of future scenarios, and this is how we're doing it. We're going to get you off that floor, off the need to be on a treatment table continually every month, so you can take care of yourselves and then not need anyone but yourself to maintain your health. Take care, guys. See you tomorrow.